We are so very, very grateful for all the work that has got us to where we are today.
We still don't know who took Jacob. We have as many questions or more as all of you.
Caught off guard by a person of interest in their son's disappearance, we are now hearing from Jacob Wetterling's parents for the first time since the break in the case last week. Daniel Heinrich was arrested on 5 counts of child pornography. He is not considered a suspect, but a person of interest in the Jacob Wetterling case. Joining me now is Dr. Dan Broughton, who is the former chair of the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Dr. Broughton, let's start with how you got involved with this. We're going to go back to the 80s.
Okay, it was 1981, and there was the first national conference on missing children and murdered children, and it was multidisciplinary, a lot of people from different disciplines, and during it, I got put on the steering committee since I was a physician from Mayo, and we had about 12 of us, and we just worked around the clock, and afterwards we said, you know, we have to keep going with this, and so we did, and ultimately convinced a couple of congressmen that this was a good thing for the government to invest in, and they actually set up a grant for a national clearinghouse on missing exploited children, and we applied for that and got the grant and opened in March of 1984.
So this started before the Jacob Wetterling disappearance.
Oh yes, yeah.
You were already working at Mayo Clinic as a pediatrician.
Correct.
And
yes,
you
that's
had
right.
your own children, who
Yes.
at the time were right around this age.
Yes, they were. Yes, my daughter is roughly the same age as Adam Walsh.
Okay, who is a famous missing persons case from Florida.
Yes.
Dr. Broughton, what is your relationship? When did you meet the Wetterlings?
I met Patty here, actually at the KAAL Hotel, at a conference about, maybe 2.5 months after Jacob had disappeared. And I went up to her and told her who I was, and it was interesting. She said, you know, we've had a lot of problems with different groups, and your group is one that's been extremely helpful. And so we bonded immediately, and we were on over the next few months a few panels together. We had one down here with Chief Pat Farrell at that time. And so we got to know each other well, and the National Center board at that time had a number of different disciplines, and we had a couple of victim parents on who left the board for various reasons. And so I talked to Patty and said, would you be interested in joining us? And so she's been on the board for that long, and she's now the chair of the board.
So do you still have a relationship? Did you talk to her? Do you communicate with her?
Well, we're friends, we're colleagues on this, and yeah, we are in communication a lot, and we've known each other, and so yeah, we do a lot of emailing and talk to each other when.
Were you surprised? I think I was personally surprised when I heard her today say that they were taken off guard, that they weren't kept in the loop, that there was a break in this case. Were you surprised by that?
Well, no, I wasn't. I mean, I was surprised by the case. But I've known them long enough, and I've known other people like the Walshes, and that's actually not unusual that they
the police will not bring you in.
And they sometimes do, but I mean it's not unusual that they'll be working on a case and it just doesn't get to them, and so they had some advance notice. I mean it was not something that they were really involved in.
Okay.
And there are other times when they are.
And over the years, there's a break. There's something.
Yes.
There's been a lot of ups and downs with this.
Yes, I can't imagine. I mean, as well as I know them, I can't imagine what it's like to constantly have these things coming to the surface, and a lot of activity and a lot of excitement. And I think they become very, very aware of that and are very calm about these things. And I think with this, what they've said, and I'm sure is that they just, well, this is one more, and we'll look at it and we'll see where it goes.
And the biggest question that they have is not about this man. They didn't talk a lot about the person of interest. They just want to know where he is.
Right. I mean, if this man knows something, I think what they hope, and certainly what I hope and everybody else, is that he will say what he knows. Sure. And as Patty always says, there's somebody out there that knows something. And that person needs to come through. But their message today, which is typical of what I've known from them, is very positive. And they always are talking about what we can do. And Patty, for as long as I've known her, is, this has to stop. Yeah. But she's not into frightening people. She actually is very, very calm and very good and wonderful with kids.
Okay. Dr. Broughton, thank you so very much for coming in and talking.
Good. Well, thank you. I've enjoyed it.
Yes.